Hello, Mioni here, and we're back again with more additions to the patch 4.1 official website. So the website got updated with some new additions after the live letter. We've already done a video on the live letter. If you want to look at the details of that, I did a full live letter talk on my channel and also a full trailer breakdown of the patch 4.1 trailer, which you can watch either on this website in front of you that I'm showing now, or you can actually watch my trailer breakdown, which has a link to the trailer in the description as well. So without further ado, so what's been added to this website? Everything that's been added has a new updated symbol next to it, this green text. They finally added stuff to do with the minstrel's ballad Shinryu's Domain. So there's some text here that they placed. A god born of sorrow and despair, a man who lives only for death. As one they fought, the warrior of light, and as one they fell. No words could do this titanic encounter justice, unless they come from the wandering minstrel, to whom no event is beyond improvement. As his nimble fingers pluck out the chords, his rich voice carries you to a place above the world, one that is at once familiar and foreign. Shinryu's Domain. So there's a few pictures here. In fact, there's 3 images. The first one is of Shinryu, full sort of frontal body. The second image is actually fighting on the platform. It looks very similar to the normal fight here. There's a few different things, at least I don't remember the purple sort of runes around his wings there, but the ground seems to still crack and crumble as it does on normal mode. And here is the third image where you're actually fighting on what appears to be another phase later in the extreme mode of this primal that seems to be on like an indestructible block suspended in the cosmos. So I've also seen another image which I will include in this video right now. This was actually from the 4.1 trailer breakdown that I did, where you actually appear to be running across the spine of the dragon in that scene. That's pretty interesting. There's probably a few phases that we haven't seen on this fight. It's sure to be fairly epic, and they're describing it in the live letter as pretty much comparable to Lakshmi and Susanoo Extreme, only much harder, with plenty of DPS and healer checks. The next addition to this website that you may notice is that Rival Wings finally got a post. Got this glorious little image here. So as you can see on this picture on the website, you have a core and you also have 2 towers. This is very MOBA-like, and people have been comparing this to Heroes of the Storm or something similar to that. Essentially, you need to push these towers with robots, these Machina. These Machina are the models from the Alexander raid that you might be familiar with. Brute Justice, for example, being used, and each one has a specific role, be it giving buffs, doing damage to towers, or tanking them. And also they have these little NPC mammoths that run around, basically as lane creeps that you can kill to get resources to allow for the building of more Machina. So this objective-based PvP map is something that they haven't done in 14 before, and it's really exciting to see what comes of it. They actually left a little bit of lore here. On the forgotten fringes of the Dravanian hinterlands, there lie the remnants of a Sharlayan testing site known as the Astragalos. With their boundless ingenuity, the goblins of Idleshire have transformed the place into an expansive training ground. Here, brave adventurers can take control of mighty machines in large-scale war games reminiscent of battles against the Garlean Empire. A furious struggle for territorial supremacy awaits. Looks pretty interesting. I'm excited to learn more and basically just go and give it a go. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in the game until patch 4.15, along with the perform ability for bards, which is the ability to play your own music, which is a bit of a sad point, but hopefully that means they have time to tweak it and get it ready for people to actually enjoy. Another section here that's been added, which is brand new, you may notice, that's an updated section, is that Still Further Hildebrand Adventures. This is under the side story quests subtitle, and it reads as follows: how depressingly dreary and plain existence is. In those brief interludes between the appearances of the larger-than-life Inspector Extraordinaire, once more into the sky did he fly, and so once more did Nashu Makaraka set forth in search of her mentor, this time in the far east. But hark! Who lurks in yonder shadow, smelling faintly of cheese? Now there's 4 images on this hilariously worded dialogue section here. The first of which is the Namazu in question, the Warrior of Light, and Nashu looking fairly perplexed. The second image is of an unknown character that seems to be a samurai as part of this adventure. The third image actually appears to show Hildebrand in the back of the sort of like King's Guard in Kagane, which is rather hilarious that he would join that. I'm not really sure how he managed to get in there, but I'm sure they'll explain that in a hilarious way. And finally you get him performing the emote with his teeth glinting as he stares off into your very soul. Looking forward to Hildebrand stories personally. I find them quite entertaining, and it's definitely something different. A lot of people are confused why they're putting so much development time into stuff like Hildebrand, but hopefully if it returns to form where we actually had dungeons to accompany Hildebrand's adventures, then it'll actually be a little bit more worth it. Fingers crossed. The next section, which has got me the most interested actually on this website, is the addition of Beast Tribe quest information. This is actually covering the Kojin, and I'll read the text that they've placed here. Though divided into two factions, the red and the blue, all Kojin have laboured since time immemorial to gather treasures they believe serve as vessels for the divine. The red Kojin achieve this goal through violence, once serving as mercenaries for the Garlean Empire. With Imperials now gone, however, they have chosen to take control of the treasure vault of the Kojin, knowing full well their blue brethren will not raise arms against them. Instead, the blue Kojin now seek to create their own treasure vault. What hardships will they encounter in their endeavour to honour the divine? So there's 4 images again on this particular slide. The first one shows 2 samurai Kojin, one in a green shell and one in a red shell, seem to be fighting it out, or at least holding off against each other in what appears to be the main village, Tamamazu. The second image here is obviously of Tamamazu, where they're worshipping various treasures. It's an interesting idea for another beast tribe, and it will be interesting to see how big we can make their treasure vault. Hopefully there will be dailies where we have to protect it and have to bring back treasures. That will be quite fun. The third image is actually of what appears to be a new minion. This is the sort of blue Kojin minion. I quite like this. There's minions for every beast tribe in the game if you didn't already know. There's usually 2 of 2 different colours, so hopefully we get a blue and a red Kojin minion. That would be really cool, but this is definitely the blue one in his little armour there. And we'll be doing a full minion video and guide on this, of course, showing off the animations when we're able to play 4.1. And the last slide shows the most sought after part of doing the beast tribe in question, and that is the new Manta Ray mount. You shouldn't be surprised by this mount, as it was featured in a few quests by the Kojin in the main storyline and some side quests where you actually got to ride around it and do things. So it should come as no surprise this is the actual mount. It's quite nice, and I can't wait to find myself at the reign of this awesome looking beast. Another big feature for those of us who craft and gather is custom deliveries. There's a new custom deliveries NPC in the name of Minago. You may remember Minago, the Mikote from the Resistance of the Ala Mhigo Resistance in the main storyline. Well, she's actually going to help the orphans who are devastated for the Ala Mhigan War for so many years. Everyone's favourite officer is looking for a few good adventurers to help her raise money for a good cause. Through regular contributions, Disciples of the Hand and Land will be able to strengthen their ties with Minago and experience the story of a Resistance Widows and Orphans Fund. Now there's 2 images, one of Minago standing there smiling, hoping that you're going to help out. And the second image is there, a little preview of the collectability and turn-in for those yellow and red scripts from Minago. If you're unfamiliar with custom deliveries, this was added in the Heavensward expansion towards the end, where we actually had to deliver items of certain quality and collectability to Zoe Alia-Poe, which is Chloe's sister, you know, the little girl who does Wondrous Tales. Well, her sister was basically the purveyor of all these things. You can get experience, and you progress a storyline, which I'm sure they have included with Minago, and the cutscenes are usually quite entertaining, so I'm looking forward to that. And that about covers today's videos on the updates to patch 4.1's North American Final Fantasy XIV official 4.1 patch website. If you've liked this video, please leave a like, let me know below what you're most looking forward to in the patch, and I'll see you next time.